Welcome to the Sports Minute. If you like the video this evening, please come in and share it. Please subscribe to my page, Vincent Turner 560 on YouTube, and I'm Vincent Turner. The video this evening is the college football game of the week. The South Florida Bulls taking on the Miami Hurricane. Let me start with the South Florida Bulls. They got the hottest coaching prospect in the country right now. My man, Mr. Alex Golesh. Has he done a job down in Tampa? South Florida's beaten two top 25 programs in their first 2 weeks of the season. And if they beat Miami on Saturday, can we start saying down in Tampa, not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but the South Florida Bulls college football playoffs? Let's start with the program. Let's start with the young man under center, Byron Brown. The gentleman is only 20 years old, but he's been in South Florida for almost 4 seasons. He'll be 21, I believe, this month in September. And you think about a guy that's played a lot of football, and look at all the quarterbacks we've talked about across the landscape. From Cade Klubnik to Carson Beck, his predecessor, who he's going to be playing on Saturday, to Garrett Nussmeier at LSU, all top 20, 26 NFL prospects, and nobody's mentioning Byron Brown. Well, you know what? This season's got 473 yards passing and one touchdown. And he's also been legal with his feet, almost close to almost 180 yards rushing. But this is the thing I like about South Florida. They went down to Gainesville last week and beat Florida, but they had a player that played the wide receiver position, Mr. Keyshawn Singleton. They call him Baby Kevin Johnson, too. He's about 6'5", 210, and he had a 66-yard touchdown against Florida last week. In the first week against Boise State, he had a 51-yarder. So all I can say about Mr. Singleton, out of Miller Creek High School, out of Gwinnett County, you special. And you playing on a special football team that's doing things special down there in Tampa. Then they got Christian Newton, who is other partner on the other side. 5 receptions last week for 39 yards against Florida. But it's been the defense for South Florida that's been special. Last week against the Gators was inside their 20-yard line 3 times. The Bulls only gave up 3 points. They led by Mac Harris, one of the top linebackers, along with Jalen Schuler, both from a very high-level NFL-type players. Mr. Harris had 10 tackles last week against the Florida Gators, and Mr. Schuler had 7 tackles. This is a South Florida team that I said before the season, when everybody else was talking about a Power 5 school can make it. A lot of people putting Memphis on their list. A lot of people putting Boise State on their list. But I said in my mind, they got a quarterback that's played a lot of football, Brian Brown, out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And you see what is happening. And Alex Golesh is one of the hottest coaching prospects out there. Started at Ohio State as a grad assistant under Jim Tressel. Now let's talk about the Miami Hurricanes. Very impressive win over Notre Dame in their first game out. And then last week, a big win over Bethune-Cookman. One thing that Miami has, they got one of the most talented quarterbacks in the country. I don't know what happened down there in down in Athens, Georgia, But all I can say is this: Carson Beck is a special talent. And he will be one of the top quarterbacks going into the 2026 NFL draft. So far this year, 472 yards, 4 touchdowns. They got a pretty good running back in Mark Fletcher, over 152 yards, 26 carries on the year. They got Malik Tony, who a true freshman, is starting to be real special. 12 receptions, 162 yards and a touchdown. And then they got C.J. Daniels, who 2 years ago put up a lot of numbers at Liberty University. Went to LSU, things didn't too much work out, but he's been the player that we thought he could be. 10 receptions so far this year, 119 yards and 3 touchdowns. And on the defensive side of the ball, they got one of the best defensive players in the country at the DN position. He could be pound for pound the best defensive player in the country. His name is Ruben Bain. 9 tackles, 1.5 sacks on the year, and 1 interception. Miami's a big dog in this game. They're a 17-point favorite. But you know what? South Florida's playing with house money on South Beach this Saturday. And they bringing a lot of fans up from Tampa. And I wouldn't count the Bulls out not 1 minute They got a quarterback in Byron Brown who's special. And you know what? South Florida's going to keep that game very close. And I wouldn't be surprised they spring the upset. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. Please subscribe to my page, Vincent Turner 560 on YouTube, and I'm Vincent Turner. As I always in my videos, the great Michael Beck, out of my hometown, the 901, Memphis, Tennessee, played the lead role in one of these movies that came out in the 70s, the late 70s, matter of fact. What's going to happen in South Beach? Warriors come out to play. Warriors come out to play. I'll be blessed.